Welcome, friends, fiends, and familiars, to the Comic Fiends Comic Friends. On the show, I have conversations with friends from all over about comics. In this week's episode, I talk with a friend that's mostly into seinen, specifically stuff like Asano and Hanazawa telling coming-of-age stories in your 30s. Welcome to the Comic Fiends Comic Friends, and this week I have my comic friend, Air Undefined. Thanks for coming on, man.
Hey, glad to be here.
So I think I said this, I'll probably say it or have said it in the little intro that goes beforehand, but, so another person I met in college, just one of many.
Mm-hmm.
But, how did we meet from what you remember?
Shit, how did we meet? Are you gonna bleep these out?
Whatever, don't worry about it. Don't sweat it.
Okay, this is gonna be a tonal episode. How did we meet? I don't know. All I remember is that we both knew who Naoki. Wait, what was his name? The guy who did Monster in 20th Century.
Urasawa, yeah. Urasawa keeps coming up in these.
Yeah, you talked about him with Sun Wong too.
Yeah.
Wait, was it? It was either him or Inio Asano that we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember specifically.
Yeah, it could have been Hanazawa too.
I think you introduced me to Hanazawa. So.
Oh, sweet! I could credit that one.
Like Resentment was my first Hanazawa joint.
Oh, jeez.
Or I ran into it and it freaked me out a bit, but then you told me to read it and I read it again. So
yeah.
Something about it.
Yeah, it sounds right.
So yeah, comics basically, manga specifically, and like the seinen stuff. Most of all, that's usually what I stick to anyway.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah,
at least from what I remember. Which leads perfectly, almost like directly into the first question, which is what kind of comics do you read? So we've covered seinen, specifically. Coming of age stories in your mid-30s.
Yep.
Which
I certainly don't like to project on characters whatsoever.
Man, it's happening. It's happening, and I'm not gonna fight it.
It's weird. Like, have you reread? I reread Solanin, which is a coming of age story by Inio Asano, and I think we both have lapped the characters in age at this point.
Great.
So it kind of
it'll change the story.
You get parts that I get parts that I didn't really totally understand at the time.
Yeah.
I get them on a level of like empathy rather than intellectually. Yes, I understand this happens, but
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. Okay, well, that's just adding that to the queue then.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. Would you say that's? I don't know. I haven't looked that much further than those two, but it seems like that's what those two are just really good at. Right.
Oh, Hanazawa and Asano.
Yeah.
Isn't Asano doing? So I haven't read his latest thing. You told me.
Oh, that's right. I was actually just talking to Andronicus about this. Which was the...
Is the DDDD?
Yeah, that one. I don't know how many Ds are in it.
Yeah.
But that... Well, yeah. I haven't read it yet. I read the other thing he suggested. But,
yeah.
Yes, that's right. He's kind of doing some other stuff. On that note, I Am a Hero just ended, like, last week.
Oh, okay.
So now you can go finish it.
Yeah, I haven't read it in over a year, ever since they sidetracked with that other group of characters. So.
And the building? The cult leader one?
Well, last I remember, the main guy was with this group where he met the nurse. And.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
That happened, and then they shifted focus to another group of characters, and I don't know, I just haven't gotten back to that.
Oh, okay, the Karasu group, I think.
Maybe. I guess. They kept translating them with I don't know if it's accurate but it was like they kept translating it with awful 4chan dialect.
Yeah, I think it's accurate.
Yeah, these are like two channers or something.
Yeah. That ends up being like super relevant later on, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they're all that's what that entire group is all about. I think that's how they met.
Oh, we'll leave it at that then.
Yeah. But anyway, okay. Yeah. So you can go ahead and finish that now.
Yeah.
So I remember another one that strikes me that, or at least it's just in my head, is Black Sad, which I still haven't read. But that
Black
seems your speed.
I've read a couple of volumes. I really like it for the visuals. The story is pretty good. I mean, it's pretty straightforward noir fare.
Mm-hmm.
It's not mind blowing, the story itself, but the visuals. I'm pulling out my own volume right here.
No, you're fine.
I mean, it's a beautiful series.
Okay.
I wish I knew more about the artist to say something about it, but I know it's just really, really goddamn beautiful. Just the watercolors and such.
Mm.
Did I ever lend you a Black Sad?
You did, and then I never read it, but I made sure you had it before we moved.
Okay.
So I didn't steal it, I think.
Okay, because I have one right here. I don't remember if I bought this before or after.
It might have been. I think I was there when you bought it. If you bought it at one of the comic shops in town.
Probably.
So I remember seeing you get excited about it. But,
okay.
So would you say that... Okay, so the question was meant to be a little more broad, I think. We got some good stuff, but by that I meant like... So is it... Would you say that you've got a pretty broad taste in terms of what kinds... Like, manga, comics, webcomics is on here too. Like, you're open to these different platforms for it?
Yeah, I don't really specifically like seek out genres in particular.
But if you do,
if I
reading
do
anything, where do they fall under?
Well, we already talked about, but all the seinen stuff with the depressed protagonist. That's really my speed. That's my jam. But beyond that, I think my only criteria is that it has, and this touches on you bring up I Am Hero again. I like stories that end. So
that helps. Yeah, that's true.
It kind of makes keeping up with, comics tend to be a serial medium.
Mm-hmm. And
it is, by its nature, a lot of stories just don't end because of that. So it kind of limits what I'm into to like mostly creator made stuff and manga that does have endings. So, but just
either by force or by nature.
It's usually. When does it ever end by nature?
When
it's already not selling well, so they might as well end it.
Something like that, or like the author dies, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. It almost never ends on purpose.
Right. I mean, I've read a good number of manga that have ended, and they've ended well. I'm pretty sure they just had some kind of heads up from the editor.
Yeah.
Other than, we need that space for the new
big thing.
New set of, yeah.
The new big thing in this seinen magazine. No one outside of Japan will hear about.
We're gonna take the 40-year-old wife market by storm.
Yeah.
Babe.
Actually, I don't know the demographic for seinen in Japan, and
it's
really
mostly
interested in finding out.
I'm guessing it's like dudes our age.
Yeah, and then the ones that I'm in that age that go back and read it later. Right?
Yeah. And then there's
oh my God.
I forget what the female equivalent was called.
Oh, what was it? I thought seinen caught the whole group.
I'm looking it up.
I thought it was an age group thing, but but you're right. You're right. There's probably an actual different group for it.
Yeah, they have names. These are just marketing terms.
Right.
Josei. I knew it started with a J.
Oh, it's Josei? I thought Josei was... Okay, neat. Oh, right. The Joes just moved over.
Yeah, okay. I get it.
Got it.
I read this. I read this stuff sometimes.
Okay.
Oh, look at these. Look at this list.
Anything notable?
Princess Jellyfish. I like Princess Jellyfish. I haven't caught up with it after the. I have this tendency to start manga and then just binge through it until the translations end, and then never go back.
And then I'm like, "Hey, did you read the newest one?" You're just like,
Nope.
It's not yet."
No.
Not until it's over, and then you'll read it like 2 months later.
Yeah, I mean, like
That's
I said,
fine.
like it to end. I don't like the. I don't care for the blue balling of cliffhangers and such.
That's fair. I get you.
I mean, yeah, unless like everyone's reading it or everyone's watching it, and you talk about it in the office and such.
Yeah,
but we're kind of in our rooms reading these Japanese cartoon books. So.
Oh yeah, totally. That's totally gonna happen at work.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I'm looking at this Wikipedia list for Josei manga, and I've read Princess Jellyfish. Does Shirakuma Cafe count as that? That's the one with a polar bear. Yeah.
Does that count as?
I guess so. It's on the Wikipedia article.
Interesting. I wonder what makes it. Okay.
And why I cite this Wikipedia article is because I see Bunny Drop in this list as well.
Okay, I believe you. Isn't that one of those watch the anime, don't ever touch the manga?
Yeah, I never go to the manga because I like the anime so much. I picked up the manga and
just don't do that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
This is one of those rare cases.
Have you ever cringed so hard that you pulled a muscle in your face?
I think you told me that happened to you.
Yeah, that happened. Wait. I think no, that wasn't this one.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It was the other one. It was the someone on Something Awful had tricked me into reading that weird incest one. Like Oremo.
Oh jeez. Oh my. Oh,
someone told me, it's actually a story between a brother and reconnecting with his family. And it was like,
this is what happens when you try when you are so ironic that you get caught in an irony trap. Like you're just like, oh, this is for jokes, right? Nope. Completely sincere. I hate everything and everyone and comics.
Wait. We've gotten too far into the irony cycle. Who's being ironic here? Because I thought this guy was being sincere. Like this is. Oh, so behind all this weird, creepy shit, there's actually a sincere, heartfelt story. And then I got to a scene where the main guy was having this dramatic stare down with one other character, and it was raining, and you could hear the intense music playing, and he was just like citing legislation on whether or not drawn anime counts as child pornography or something.
Oh, okay, all right. Yep.
It's like
that's what can happen, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
That's where I stopped. I cringed so hard at that scene that I think I actually pulled a muscle in my face, and I legitimately thought I was going to die.
That sounds horrible on every possible level.
I was killed by anime.
Yep. Death by anime.
Honestly, not a bad way to go, all things considered.
Okay. Well, that's terrifying. And I will continue to not go down that route.
And don't read Bunny Drop either.
Nope.
I mean, just watch it. It's fun.
Yeah.
The worst part about Bunny Drop is, as I was on a single dad manga kick, and there was a really nice one I read right before Bunny Drop, and I can't even remember what it was called.
Because it was just so ruined by what happened there.
Yeah, like when I try to recall it, and the events of the two stories sort of blend together.
Ugh. That's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Is that what Barakamon is about?
Barakamon
seems like a adopted. I don't know. I haven't seen anything past the first episode.
I burned through those scanlations too, and then stopped. That was about. Oh yeah, this is the one about the calligrapher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think he's a dad. He's just sort of. He's a 23-year-old master calligrapher. God damn it. Yeah.
It's manga. He's also probably a prodigy, right?
Well, he is yeah, he is. But
yeah. So just
it's a seinen. It's supposed to like break free of those marketing chains.
I guess.
Like we'd like if we were manga characters, we'd both have like limps and herniated discs or something.
Well, I mean, I do have those sciatica issues.
So, I guess.
Well, I mean, that's already part of it.
Yeah, and I haven't had my blood test yet for cholesterol.
Great.
Okay.
So we're already there, I think.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We're far beyond the pale to ever become protagonists ourselves.
Oh yeah.
Unless it's a Hanazawa joint.
Yep. Just about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I got nothing else. I got just agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, think back.
Mm-hmm.
How did you start reading comics? Like, all the way back. I don't know where it was for you. Seems like a lot of people started with like the Sunday Funnies, but then you have other people who started like late high school, college.
I started with the funny, that one, like Charlie Brown and Garfield and all such, but I never really consider that my first exposure to it.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I've been watching anime since forever ago. Back in the 90s, when the only way you could get anime was to tape a VHS that your friend taped from another guy's VHS who recorded it directly off of the TV in Japan while they were visiting, and then somehow spliced in subtitles.
Yeah, I don't know how it worked back then.
Yeah, my brother was in on that scene, and somehow he was able to get some good stuff out of it. I watched Evangelion when I was in second grade, and that sort of set the tone for the rest of my life.
My goodness.
And so yeah, I've been...
Oh my gosh.
So...
Goodness.
I've been pretty exposed to manga for as long as I could remember. I think my first proper manga I don't know if it's even proper manga. The one that I owned was the it was the Pokemon manga. I Choose You, Pikachu.
Boy!
Or like, no. It was like Electric Tail of Pikachu.
Yeah.
Incidentally, the one that was drawn by the porn artist, and they had to censor the English.
Yep. Okay. Told me about this one too. Yep.
I don't know. They censored it. So.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. No. Like. Yep.
All the characters, all the female characters had, assets.
Right.
Far more than you'd expect in a Pokemon license.
Like the big official thing.
Yeah.
So to speak. Is that okay? So if I'm thinking right, those were the ones that I think somebody else brought this up, but that's the one where they flipped them and they printed them out like American comic books, but still in black and white. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
I have that somewhere. I have no idea where anymore. I think I still have that. Just that one. I don't know if I had more than that. Because that one it was number one, but it was also, I think, like the big race story was in there. The
story.
They mirrored.
There were a few of them.
Yeah. The big, like, what is it? There was an episode that's similar to it. I think that it was sort of based off of where they were racing Tauros or racing for Tauros or something crazy. I don't remember the specifics.
That's ringing a bell, but
yeah, right?
Pokemon, it could be anything.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
The ones I had were... Oh, God, do I see it? Do I see it in my shelf? No, that wasn't it.
Okay.
It was like these 4 issues that I guess they took up a usual... Those Tankobon, those is that what they're called? The big volume ones. I think they just split that up into 4 issues, so they're about 30, 40 pages each. like similar to American comics. That's what they used to do back in the 90s. They would just chop up manga and try to sell them like American comics
Yeah.
in the same size.
Yep.
I guess, that works, I guess.
It works in the same way that they put like 2 or 3 episodes on a DVD and sell it to you for like,
I guess,
$30. Like,
yeah,
that's the same way, I think.
yeah. It's also subjecting like American comics for financial model to manga as well.
Yeah. Yep.
Because manga is meant to be like cushion between like a dozen other stories.
Exactly. Yeah.
American comics are cushion between those like in-book ads. They still do
those were. Yeah, I think they're worse now.
Oh God.
It's been a while since I've bought a physical. I can't remember the term for it. The single issue.
Yeah.
Of a comic, but yeah, they have They had. Last time I did, which was sometime in the last 2 years at least. They had the like ads that are just like what's happening on the next page, but then there were some ads that were like taking up the bottom quarter of the page, which is really weird. Like,
how do they put that in trades?
I don't remember. I just remember that happening and thinking like, okay, you can't do that. Like, to the story, you can't affect how much space they have for the page. You can't do that.
Yeah.
I hope I'm misremembering that. I'd be happy to be misremembering that because it's crazy to me that was the case, if it is.
Yeah, I hope they do that less now. But I remember the last time I bought a physical comic, I think it was when we were hanging out, and after paging through them, there was it was that like 7-Eleven commercial where there was an arm protruding from a guy's stomach, and it was feeding him a hot dog from 7-Eleven, and that showed up in like every issue I picked up and looked through.
I mean, that's fine the first time, I feel like.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's in every issue, then maybe.
Now that I think about it, it's really weird.
Yeah, it is.
Have ads in comics because like you, I just get all my American stuff through Comixology these days.
Yeah, that's true. What
were we talking about?
Really convenient. Oh well, how you got into comics in the first place? But I feel like this is a great place to go.
Yeah,
it can get really weird.
Yeah, so they did that to manga too.
Yeah,
sorry. They did that to manga back in the 90s.
Oh, okay, yes. Back then I was like, wait, no, they didn't. Like, they're not doing that. No. Honestly, I think that these days manga is, well, specifically shonen manga, because that's where all the money is in the US anyway, for now. I feel like the magazine, bringing the magazine model and digital really works.
Yeah.
And it's knowing when it's coming out, because it's every Monday by like 9 in the morning, it's up. That works for me, the person who was reading scanlations before. Now I'm happy to pay for this, like, on time. They tell you when something's on break thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a really, really good model. I actually got to meet a lot of the people on the US team last year at Anime Expo. They're super cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was really weird because they were like, I was like, are you Andy from the podcast? He's like, yeah. And I was like, I love you guys. Like, go for like the manga discussion and stuff. And they're like, people listen to the podcast. And I was like, yeah. But it was cool. Like, they invited us to like a launch party thing that they were doing that day, and I was like, well, heck yeah, I have to go to this. We got to meet Chris Sabat there. Oh
God, wow.
Yeah,
wow.
That was totally unexpected. Yeah, they were promoting the dub for Hero Academia. And of course, Chris Sabat's All Might. Come on.
I haven't. I think you linked that to me a while ago. I haven't actually listened to. I don't remember what it sounds like. Did he do the Vegeta voice?
No, it's a very heroic voice, and then he nails No Might or Scale Might or whatever we were calling him. Like that, just so tired but still wanting to do everything he can. so
Okay.
well. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like Vegeta transitioning into Piccolo.
No.
Something.
Trying
Okay, cool.
to think of a good example. I can't think of a good example. It's All Might. Yeah, I think you had it. But anyway, yeah. But I mean, you know me. I'm crazy about shonen. Like I love to try out the new stuff.
Getting it regularly would be cool. I think my problem is, since I read a lot of seinen, that the translators tend to lose interest and then it disappears forever.
Yep. Still have never seen the end of Boys on the Run.
Wait, really?
Yep. I think there's like 1 volume left.
Oh, God.
Which is, that's miserable.
Yeah. And it ended at a cliffhanger, too.
Did it really?
Yeah, well, he saw her on the train or something?
Oh, where the last time you read it was? Or are you talking about?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you talking about the first girl?
I don't remember anymore.
Whatever. Yeah.
But it's not finished. It's just not...
Yeah. I mean, the series is obviously... The series is complete. I think there's a movie actually based on it that I was waiting to see, but maybe I'll just watch the movie now.
Do those movies cover the entire story? Because
Boys on the Run, I feel like could have it and then end in a way... Well, that's answering your question with a no, I guess.
Right. Because there are a few arcs to it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they could fit that into like an hour and a half. Right.
I feel like they could get to a good place with it. I feel like they're getting better at them. I really want to see the I Am a Hero movie, actually. Because that one, I think, did at least okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's I can't remember his name right now, but it's your favorite Japanese director, I think. Is it Miike? Maybe?
That was yours, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's mine.
I haven't seen anything by Miike. I haven't seen old... He's the old boy guy, right?
Is he? No, I'm not sure.
No, something the killer.
It's Machine
Ichi
the
Ichi
the killer. Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, that's...
I'm happy to be...
I haven't seen that. And then I only saw gifs with a guy with the panties on his face.
In Ichi? Is it Ichi?
No, it was another Miike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't it zombie?
Looking it up now.
There was another zombie movie he did.
Whoa. Sorry. He's adapting Blade of the Immortal.
Well, now he's your favorite director.
Maybe, we'll see.
That's... Oh, okay. On that note, we can talk about that series, but while I'm thinking about it, there's a seinen thread that's pretty good on Something Awful.
Right.
And it's one of the ones that they've been talking about, which I feel like would appeal to you, is the... I think it's called To You, the Immortal.
Maybe. I used to read that thread. It's just been... I haven't gone into that forum in a while.
Okay. Yeah, it's called To You, the Immortal, and it's something like... It's not clear exactly what it is, but basically, like, it seems like an omnipotent life form is born into the world, and it just sort of keeps copying things it sees dying and taking on life as those things. Starting during an ice... Like, it seems like during an ice age. It's pretty freaking cool. Like,
it sounds pretty cool. I can't find any samples because I'm looking this up now.
Go do it. Yeah, just so you know what it looks like.
I'll check it out.
Yeah. But anyway, so Blade of the Immortal. That's the Samurai series, right?
Yeah, it was by Hiroaki Samura. He's a I think one of the biggest things about him is that he was Dark Horse picked him up in the early 2000s or late 90s. So he was a part of that wave of early translated manga.
Mm-hmm. And the correct, not being flipped from left to right.
Actually, that's the thing. They did flip his stuff.
Oh.
And what made it special is that he actually went out of his way to redraw the panels so that the ones that made less sense made more sense. I mean, they didn't flip all of them, and it was kind of troubling because the main character has a swastika on his back. It's like the original Buddhist meaning of a swastika. So depending on whether it goes counterclockwise or clockwise, it has different connotations. So mirroring it was kind of troublesome.
Yeah.
So I think they had to. I don't know if they redrew every scene where it was in, but the ones where it was most prominent, he redrew them.
Gosh.
And he would do these crazy full-page spreads of just the manga is extremely violent. Excellent. But he would turn the kill shots into these huge frescoes, and just he actually redrew a few of those just for the American release.
That's nuts.
So
it is a completed series then, right?
It is.
Or you haven't seen the end of it.
I haven't seen the. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I have like 14, 15 volumes of it, and there's still a few more left.
Good. What's the chapter count?
I have no idea, because I think it was one of those series that Dark Horse was translating it over a long period of time, so that, and this is early, this is before the anime manga wave, so they weren't very timely with the releases.
Oh yeah.
So it took them forever to get the entire series out. I guess I should track it down. We can probably get a huge omnibus or something.
Yeah, I'm sure it's, well, depending on, I'm not sure about that. I was having trouble finding like older series, just even on Amazon, where I thought it would be super easy, or they'd have like something digital up on nostalgia for it. But yeah, when it comes to manga, I remember releases being, even when Shonen was doing like I wouldn't say like the big Shonen boom in the US, when Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece were really popular here already. Like, you wouldn't see another volume of something for a couple of months. Like, oh, all right, to be continued. We're in the middle of a Naruto story. You're gonna get it. Like, see you in what is it? It was February, and the next one was gonna be out in like May. Like, it's just like, come on. We're gonna get 7 chapters. We're still in the middle of this story.
Yeah, it's kind of like reliving the Namek arc over and over with every series.
Right, exactly. Which is, I mean, those series were inspired by that, and so
it might as well. Hey, it works. Might as well experience the same way.
Yeah. I mean, so I think we had this we had this discussion before, I think, where we were talking about how, I think I was trying to say it was inspired by these things, but I wanted to say you said it was more like it was derivative of those things, which is both are true when it's just painted a certain way. But at least something like Hero Academia is derivative of One Piece versus the others, or something crazy like that. I wouldn't want anything to be like derivative of Bleach, like, let's say. Oh,
what's the deal with Bleach? I've never read I've only seen the intro to the anime, which because Mother's Basement's covered it, and it is really dope.
That is the best way to describe it. It was visually like really cool. There's some really cool ideas. Had a really strong beginning and first couple of arcs, and it just. I will send you a YouTube link, and I'll probably post that in the description. This dude, Super Eye Patch Wolf, who just said like, "What went wrong with Bleach?" and here's exactly what happened. Like, he attacks like both from the narrative perspective as well as probably the development and writing perspective. It's an excellent video. I feel like.
Okay.
I love the boom of anime analysts on YouTube. It's fantastic.
Is this a different guy? It's not Digibro?
It's not Digibro. It's Super Eye Patch Wolf. Totally different guy.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen any of his stuff.
Yeah, and he's got like an accent too, so it's even more like just nice to listen to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the accent could have gone either way, but I'll take your word for it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I can't place it, and I didn't look it up, so You'll just let me know how you feel about it later, I guess.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. So basically, that's it. It's just like it was really cool, and it's like Kubo can draw some cool stuff, and you know that he just wants to draw cool stuff, but that doesn't work. I mean, you can do that, but you should also
write a story.
Write a story, yeah, yeah. Like he did an arc, maybe like 2 arcs before the end of it, and I was like, you're capable of doing cool things, but I wish this wasn't in Bleach at all. I wish this was like a totally separate, like one-shot short story. But that's how it is.
So what happened to these? What happens to the? What happens to these big name manga artists when their series end? What is the Naruto guy doing now?
He's just chilling. I hope he's just resting. Because
did they get paid enough?
I think. Well, if it's that big, I think that they get paid. I think they get money.
Okay.
Their name's tied to something big because it's technically actually the series is still going, but it's one of his assistants took over.
Okay.
For his Naruto's son story.
I guess the licensing royalties if he gets those.
Right. If it's that
still making
big,
games.
then exactly. Yeah, they're still making games. His son has like a whole new series and everything. So, yeah, when it's something like that, it's fine. I would hope they relax and just get to rest from now on.
Yeah.
But then you have Oda, who now I think just gets to take break. I think they make him take breaks now, like because One Piece is off. I think we get like 3 chapters a month now versus the regular, let's say 4. There's 4 weeks in a month. Because I think they like demand that he take a break.
Does it get too crazy? I haven't read a lot of One Piece either.
What's that?
I haven't read a lot of One Piece either. So does his stuff suffer? Or does it get
no?
weird?
It's I haven't started from the beginning in a long time, which maybe I'll do sometime this year just because I'm insane. I did the same thing for Hunter x Hunter and Berserk last year. Wait, did I do? Is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. No, it wasn't Hunter. What? Anyway. Yeah, I did I haven't done it for One Piece. Like I haven't read the beginning of it since I was in high school.
Right.
But I think that he can actually manage this, and you can tell that he's actually been planning something, like, or at least planning far enough ahead in advance that it doesn't look like he just pulled it out of his butt, like, or even if he did, it's done in a way that's appealing, like,
right.
Or he knows where, like, I was actually just having this conversation with someone in October, where he was like, the chef dude, the Sanji. He was saying that like he wasn't really feeling Sanji lately because they haven't really done a whole lot, and this one is all about Sanji, and it's really dang good. Like, I mean, I doubt you're actually gonna go read it. So do you mind if I just say it? Like,
yeah, go ahead.
Like, it turns out he's from like a family of basically like evil Power Rangers. Like, of course, he's Sanji's 3 o'clock, right? Sanji,
Okay.
3 o'clock.
Yeah.
He has 5 other siblings. I think that's right.
Okay.
And they're all super jerks, and they're part of this plot that's there's so much. One Piece is super dense, and it helps if you've already been into it. But basically, he's getting like pushed into this like what do you call this? Like a marriage between 2 kingdoms.
Oh, okay. Arranged marriage or something.
Yeah, so just like an arranged marriage between his evil jerkwad warlord dad and this not quite Pirate King, but like near Pirate King class level lady called Big Mom, who's got like a ton of royal marriages in her family. So like it's like this like weird political thing that's going on, while also her, I don't know if it's her ship, is basically covered in Disney talking biscuits and candy monsters that she stole people's souls and put them into. Yeah, it's like, yeah, there's a lot going on, but it's not a bad thing. It's just hard to explain. It's hard to explain to somebody new, I guess.
And there's a lot of merit to a story that could pull that sort of stuff off.
Yeah.
And just let it, you could just accept it.
Right.
That story has built up a lot of goodwill if we could do that.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, I don't know if I'll ever start One Piece because I know how massive it is.
Right.
Because the same reason I know Gintama would really appeal to me. I've seen bits and pieces. I know I'd love it, but there's also like 1,000 episodes.
Right. Exactly.
So,
yeah. It's just like you gotta be willing to slog or make it like a weird habit ritual thing. Like that's why I really like the subscription because it shows up. I mean, it's here. I read.
Yeah.
And then it's sort of like because of the subscription format, right? It comes to me, and I just, depending on how I'm feeling that day, I'll pick whichever, like the order that I'm reading it. Like, I kind of want the funny thing first, so I'll do Food Wars first rather than anything else, instead of anything else. Which, I wouldn't try selling that to you at all.
The Food Wars. That's the one with the food and the titties.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know. I might be into it.
Yeah. Well, somehow, like Marie's like super into the anime. Like I was like, oh, okay. Like I wasn't expecting that to happen. Yeah. It appeals to me in a way of like it's actually somehow a class thing. Like it is a class and a gourmet thing while also having the fan service on top of that.
Okay.
But the like the main character is from like a family diner challenging the hoity-toity rich folks at the hoity-toity school with his like, hey, crappy ingredients can be great too aesthetic style. I don't know.
He's just naturally good at cooking.
No, that's what I like about it is that he's not naturally gifted. He works really hard at making his crappy food taste good.
Okay.
Which is even better. Like you see him put the work in. And it's his experience and failures that contribute to his being a better main character, I think. Or at least being a main character that you don't go like, you just pulled that out of your ass. Because you believe that he cooked that thing 500 times before he figured out what was wrong. But anyway, so...
I'd probably be into... if I had a subscription to something that would just monthly arrive on my doorstep. Maybe even tangibly, because I do have like Comixology subscriptions I just let build up.
Yeah.
But if I had something just like hit my door like a phone book, I might go about reading it regularly. But as it stands, I just binge everything. So read through it once and then stop. Which is like if I start reading One Piece or Gintama, then I'll be, if I'm really into it and I read the whole thing, I'll be chained to my bed looking at my phone for like a day and a half. Yep. I mean, I do that anyway, but
you at least like to have some kind of choice or do something else while you're doing it, right?
I guess. I mean, like, saying it out loud, there's no actual reason not to do it.
Yeah. So, okay, next time you'll have read One Piece and then we'll be talking about your experience.
Yes.
Actually, that'd be really interesting. Even like the first few chapters.
I might be reading Gintama instead.
Sure.
Is Gintama manga?
Yes.
Or is it just anime?
It is also published in Shonen Jump.
They're comedies, so they could probably diverge a whole lot.
Yeah. I forget what it is. It might have been someone telling me about it. Maybe. Basically, someone was telling me about how, like... No. This might have been another YouTube thing. Maybe.
Okay.
Someone was telling, like, how a certain season was going being kind of a drag, but then it turns out they were doing it on purpose so they could mess with the intro or something. Like...
Yes, if I read or watch either of them, I'm going to get so into it that I'm going to have to watch or read the other.
Right.
And...
I mean, that's how it works, I think, right? I
guess I don't have an actual reason to not do that anymore, but don't hold me to that.
No. But if you do, I think it would be interesting to follow up on.
Okay. We'll see.
Yeah. I thought I had something else on this, but so let's go. Let's move towards like the end here. If you wanted to recommend, if you really wanted people to check out 3 things, like what, I mean, at least 3 can be, I try to push at least 3 because I keep talking to people who read like a ton of stuff and they want to talk about a lot of different things. But if 3 is hard, we can do 2, I guess. Like, I had to make Andronicus like pick 3, and then for his 3rd one, he picked an author because there were too many choices. I was like, you can't. All right, well, he just made his recommendation anyway.
Okay.
3 things you really want people to read. In no order.
I could have answered this. Maybe I could have answered this like a year ago. To be honest, I haven't read a whole lot of comics in the past year.
Mm-hmm.
But 3 I'd recommend. I mean, definitely Inio Asano. If I get a lot of my stuff is going to be pretty niche.
Sure. But
Inio Asano, if you're into that.
Once again, 30-year-olds finding their place in the world, coming of age stories.
Yeah. Basically, the plot of every Disney movie. It's that happy.
Just, yeah.
Yeah, musical numbers. It's just smiles all the time.
Oh, yeah. Inio Asano.
Inio Asano. Solanin would be a Solanin, if you could spell that out.
Right.
That would be a good entry point to his work.
Sky Person? No.
Sky Person?
No, that'd be Jin. Oh. Never mind, sorry.
Okay.
I'll look into that. I don't know if that's right.
And then he also had a series of short stories called What a Wonderful World.
Those were connected, right?
Only thematically.
Wasn't the disease like persistent or something?
No, I don't think that had any. I don't think any of the weird sci-fi elements carried over. Solanin is like purely just interpersonal drama. I don't think he goes too surreal with it.
Right. No. I wasn't saying Solanin and Wonderful World were connected. I thought that. The stories within Wonderful World were.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Together, sure. Right? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
But they were all like different groups of people.
Yeah, and you revisit the same characters in later stories too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah, you could see if you start with that, you could see the kind of stories that he tells and the way he tells it. That was like one of his earlier works, so it's like neat to see where. If you're into his work as much as I am, it's neat to see where it starts.
So even more, we need to read DDD Destruction.
I guess so.
Right.
Yeah. Just see where the hell he went with it.
Right.
Our other 2, there's going to be a long period of silence, so be sure to cut this.
Okay.
God, what would I?
Oh, you're looking up your thing.
No, I'm just trying to think.
Okay.
Let me sit down and look at my shelf. Was out of left field, but I really like Sex Criminals.
Sex Criminals, okay.
Yeah. Anything.
That's Matt Fraction, right?
Yeah, Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky.
Oh yeah, okay. I can see why.
Yeah, they're funny as hell.
Right.
And I forget which it was Fraction who worked on Hawkeye, yeah.
And
I really liked his.
No,
I really liked his run on that. Oh, it's pretty, critically acclaimed. I guess I don't know if would that be a top 3. Again,
Hawkeye.
Either that or Sex Criminals. I mean,
right. Yeah.
I'm looking at my shelf.
Right.
Because honestly, I don't. Comics is not my main medium. I would say.
Okay. What would you say that would be while we're on that?
Definitely games would be. When I say my main medium, it's sort of like.
Right.
The thing with me is that I tend to get into stuff if I feel desire to want to make that stuff.
Right.
I got into comics really young because it's the easiest thing you could do when you're a kid, and you had some colored pencils and some ink.
Mm.
So I decided, I'm into comics. But then, yeah.
No, you're right. I feel like that's how it goes.
Yeah. And in middle school, I downloaded a copy of RPG Maker from a Russian site.
Uh-huh.
And that's when I got into making games. So I've been into games since forever, so it wasn't really a prompt to do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just and when I got into high school and I got my pirated copy of Flash, I all of a sudden wanted to be a animation aficionado. So that's where it came from there too. So, but yeah, the point is there is like I think whenever I say when my primary medium is the one I find myself wanting to make the most, and it's usually games. Comics has always been there as like a surrogate for animation, but a bit more attainable. And that might not be the greatest thing to say because comics is its own medium with its own nuances and such.
Yeah.
I'm just not as in tune to it as I am with animation.
I mean, this feels like something really what's the word? More than nugget of wisdom or something that came out of you just now, but I feel like that was a really almost like a breakthrough. I don't know what that is, but
a breakthrough.
Yeah. So I don't. Well, not that I'm trying to make anything of this, but
okay.
I didn't think about it from that perspective because I'm very self-centered. For
okay.
goodness sakes, I have a podcast where I can talk about comics with people.
All right, sure.
That don't necessarily want to talk about them. So, I had considered you for a long time to be somebody that could I'm like, you have a really cool taste that we can talk about comics, but it dawned on me in that moment that I was really just trying to I don't know, just trying maybe too hard to relate to you about it.
I mean, it's cool. I mean, I'm into comics, and I'm sort of part of the scene.
Right.
I follow a lot of artists and such.
Mm-hmm.
It's just for the medium itself, I'm just saying I don't really consume as much because I see it mostly as a surrogate for animation, I guess. Which is, I don't know. I haven't fully thought of it. I thought it through myself, but yeah. So that's why I'm just saying this is why it's kind of difficult for me to come up with a top 3 that I wouldn't regret saying. I'm probably going to think of a million goddamn things after the fact.
Yeah, that's what happens in almost every situation in life. Though I think at this point in our Hanazawa and Asano protagonist life, we have to accept that.
Yeah,
I could have said something really cool just then. That's fine. You didn't.
All right. Well, it's the internet. We can go back and fix it.
That's true. Just as soon as it's digital, we can go back and fix it. But since you've said that, now we're not going to.
Are you recording it to a cassette right now?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But anyway, so on to your
2 and 3.
2 more, whatever. Just whatever you feel like. But no more than 2. I think that's the important part.
Okay. Webcomics, Octopuspie.
Sure.
I just completely did not think about webcomics at all for some reason.
Well, there's a lot to talk about, I guess.
Yeah. If I did come up with a list, I'm pretty sure it would overlap a lot with ProZDs. I do really need to read GGDG comic. What was it? Cucumber Quest?
Yes. I also need to still.
I binged on that years ago and then again.
Yeah.
So yeah. Definitely Octopuspie for my number 2.
Okay.
These are not in any particular order.
Exactly, yeah.
No one has guessed this already. So number 3. I probably want to slice. God, there's a slice of life seinen manga I read a while ago. I can't. Of course, I had like a completely Japanese name, so I'm never gonna remember it.
Yep, that's what happens.
Shit.
Well, can you think of the contents of it?
Just. Yeah, probably not. Not that one.
Okay.
I guess thinking back all the way, back in, I don't know what I'd call it, but back in high school, I started following this group of artists. Do you know Kazu Kibuishi?
I don't think so.
Kazu Kibuishi? He made a Copper. It's like this webcomic about a guy and his kid and his talking dog. They just went on really deep hikes and talked about philosophical stuff, I guess. It's sort of...
I might have seen it, but it's just not in my head. If it's
yeah,
if it was ever there.
This is pretty way back, like 2005 or so.
Uh-huh.
What was I going though? Would I recommend Copper?
Or are you talking about that artist in particular?
Maybe. It's been like really long since I've read his stuff,
right.
But it was also really formative to me. So I'm trying to think if it is actually something I'd recommend or if it's just something that I'm pulling out of my ass because it's somewhat important. I don't know if it's
okay. So we have 1 and 2. What about a third one? Again, you don't have to do a third one, man. It's just I just put the restriction so we would have something.
Okay.
Tight. Yeah. If you feel like those two are ones that are important or you think that people should read, that's fine. You don't have to.
Yeah. We'll
don't hurt yourself.
And I'll get back to you, and you can add an addendum in post, I guess.
Sure.
If I think of anything.
Yeah. So basically, Octopuspie was the second one, and then the first one was Asano's library. Anything by Asano. Yeah. Great. All right.
Cool,
man. Thanks for coming on.
No problem.
Thanks for listening to TCFCF. Tune in next week for another conversation about comics. And don't forget, the Comic Fiend is your comic friend too.